皆さん、こんにちは. Hi everyone. So maybe you have planned a trip to Japan and you're wondering how you will find your way around and ask people for information or direction. Don't worry. In this video, I'm going to share with you 10 phrases and sentences that will probably be very useful when you arrive in Japan. では、始めましょう. Let's get started. There is one very useful word that you can use in many situations, sumimasen. You will often hear it pronounced suimasen or siimasen. Sumimasen can be used in various situations, so let's highlight two main ones. First, it can be used as an excuse me to get someone's attention and then ask for something. So for instance, you can say sumimasen and then ask a question. Secondly, it can also be used as an apology if you have bumped into someone or step on the feet and you want to say excuse me, you can use sumimasen. If you're a tourist, you will certainly need to ask for information at some point. To say, can I ask you something? In Japanese, you will say, ちょっと伺ってもいいですか? This ちょっとmeans a little. Japanese people love to use it at the beginning of a sentence to address someone. And you can also say ちょっといいですか? ちょっといいですか? With this sentence, the person you try to speak to will know that you need to ask him something. Now, maybe you're looking for a specific place, the toilet, the bank, the subway. Let's say the toilet. It's always useful to know where the toilets are. You can say, トイレはどこですか? トイレ, toilet, はどこですか? Where is. So anytime you want to ask where something is, you can use this structure. Something はどこですか? Another example. スーパーマーケットはどこですか? Where is the supermarket? 薬局はどこですか? Where is the drugstore? Another very useful sentence that you need to learn how to say is, I don't understand. In some situation, you need to be able to tell the person you're talking to that you didn't understand what he said. In this case, you can use わかりません. わかりません. I don't understand. So you have been learning Japanese for a while, good for you. But you may need to say something and not know exactly how to say in Japanese. In that case, you can just ask about a word or an expression. For example, how do you say fish in Japanese? You will say, fish は日本語でどう言いますか? So the sentence structure you want to know here is something は日本語でどう言いますか? So 日本語で in Japanese, どう言いますか? How do you say? Another example, cat は日本語でどう言いますか? How do you say cat in Japanese? Another situation I hope you will encounter, and as often as possible, is introducing yourself to someone in Japanese. You can introduce yourself by giving your first name and say, 私の名前はサラです or 私はサラです Both are correct. In the first sentence, I said, 私の名前 name はサラです is Sarah. Second version, 私はサラです And you can say something simpler, only something like サラです I am Sarah. It also works. So as you can see, Japanese tends to be very reductionist, and that makes our job easier, right? So now you want to give more information about yourself and tell the country you're from, the city you're from. For instance, I am from Paris, I am from Germany. In this case, you will say, パリから来ました。ドイツから来ました。 So you start with the name of the country, your state, or the city, your city, and you add kara kimashita, which means I am from. In a country so full of history as Japan, you will probably want to go to do some shopping and buy some souvenirs, right? So let's suppose you're in a shop and you want to ask for a price. You will say, これは ikura desu ka? これ this wa ikura how much, desu ka is it? And the salesperson would answer, これは500円です。これ this wa 500円です cost 500 yen. Once you've got the information you want, you need to say thank you to the person that helped you. You can say ありがとうございます. Thank you. If you just say ありがとう, it's correct, it's totally correct, but it shows that you already know the person and you have a familiar relationship with that person. In case you ask a stranger for information, it's better to say ありがとうございます. And if you want to be more polite, you can add どうも and say どうもありがとうございます. This makes the acknowledgement stronger. And as all good things must have an end, there will always be a time for you to say goodbye to someone. I'm sure you already have heard the term sayonara. You can use it. It means goodbye. You can use it and people will definitely understand that you want to say goodbye. But actually, Japanese people say sayonara in a very specific context. At school, when students say goodbye to their teacher, they always use sayonara. There are many other ways to say goodbye in Japanese. But in the specific situation in which you are asking for information in a shop or in the street, you can just say ありがとうございます and leave, slightly bowing the head like that. ありがとうございます. That's it for today. I hope these 10 useful sentences in Japanese will be helpful when you arrive in Japan. Have a very good trip and see you soon. 見てくれてありがとう. またね.
If you learned something new from this video, give it a thumbs up. Then, hit subscribe and turn on your notifications. Have a look around our channel for more hacks and tips. And if you're watching on another social media platform, like or follow our page. See you next time.